Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik, Voss, and Hugh Jackman is playing Wolverine in Deadpool 3, coming September 6, 2024. Confirmed on social media post by Ryan Reynolds, which honestly is the best way to market this movie other than Ryan and Hugh doing this flirty shtick inside of a giant bottle of aviation American gin. Deadpool 3 will kick off Marvel Phase 6 with the Fantastic Four, Avengers Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars to follow. But I'm gonna break down the Easter eggs you might have missed in these announcement videos, as well as a bit of lip reading of what they were saying under that music, and how this will all fit together with the continuity from the Deadpool films, the X-Men films, Logan, and the MCU. So the first announcement video featured Ryan Reynolds writing on a typewriter wearing Deadpool's dusty suit from Deadpool 2 with the bullet holes in the duct tape from the ending of that movie, when many of us compared it to the look of the gray Deadpool suit from the comics. Reynolds pours into a Deadpool mug some Aviation American gin, the gin company that Reynolds co-owns and works in everything, like in the movie Free Guy. Then on the toilet, Reynolds reads a comic book. This is Wolverine Volume 7, number 21, published this past May, the most recent team up between Deadpool and Wolverine in Marvel Comics. They fight Danger, the sentient form of the X-Men's Danger Room. Here is a specific page that Reynolds has flipped to, showing Deadpool fighting a swarm of Wolverine projections sent by Danger. Reynolds says he has no ideas, but
we did have one idea. Hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Followed by Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, the captions reading it as Will Always Love Hugh, with the release date and the movie's logo with 3 Wolverine claw slashes to mark this as Deadpool 3. Just perfect. And he shared this with the caption, hard keeping my mouth sewn shut about this one, a nod to the 2009 X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, which was the first time Ryan Reynolds played Wade Wilson, but they infamously fused his mouth shut. Now, when this posted on Tuesday, unsurprisingly, social media blew up. John Krasinski actually shared it, asking if this was our movie, and Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy responded, sorry JK, this one's all mine. Director of Logan and Indiana Jones 5, James Mangold, responded with a gif of the moment in Logan when X-24 impales Wolverine on a tree stump, the killing blow. And since everyone was really asking if this would erase Wolverine's death in Logan, Mangold followed up telling everyone to chill, saying Logan will always be there, multiverse or prequel, time warp or wormhole, canon or non-canon, or even without a rationale. I cannot wait to see what madness my dear friends cook up. So that led to another post from Reynolds and Jackman seeking to clear it up.
How is Wolverine alive after Logan?
Logan takes place in 2029, totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan, not touching that. What actually happens in our film is these two.
So then Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman riff a bunch of nonsense, covered by Wham's Wake Me Up, but their words have now been decoded via lip reading. Credit to John Boyd Media. Reynolds says, these two guys, get out there. And Jackman goes, yes. And Reynolds says, and he's like, grrr. Jackman says, pulls the thing. Reynolds says, and I'm just like, goo. And I just catch him. And Jackman says, and then but then Reynolds goes on, and I'm chasing him all over the place, and we're going through stuff and through all these different places. And Jackman talks over him saying, I'm gonna have this massive, huge explosion. And Reynolds says, yeah, and I've got the swords that shit. Boom! And Jackman reacts, and whoop! And they just make action noises. Jackman pantomimes killing Reynolds, who then slumps over, and Jackman goes, that's it! And he continues to play punch Reynolds, but he accidentally hits him on the last one, and he breaks, saying, whoops! And he laughs, and Reynolds sits back up saying, but I'm fine, I'm totally laughing about it. And Jackman says, and I'm alive too, but you really have to see this because we're in our prime. It's true, the prime! And Reynolds says, and what a way to make it up to you. And Jackman says, I'm so excited about this, you're gonna love it! And Reynolds ends by saying, it's gonna be the best. And he claps, signaling everyone the music part is over, leading to,
thank you, Kevin Feige. Love you, Kevin Feige. Thank you, MCU.
And it ends with some Polaroids of the two actors together, and then a shot from the set with director Sean Levy. So what does all this mean? Well, Deadpool 2 already gives us a fairly straightforward explanation for how it could work, because in the movie's post-credit sequence, Deadpool uses Cable's time travel watch to go back in time to try to fix everything, but ends up changing the timeline in some big ways, including killing his X-Men origin self.
Hey! It's me, don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines. Look, eventually you're gonna hang up the claws, and it's gonna make a lot of people very sad.
Huh?
But one day your old pal Wade's gonna ask you to get back in the saddle again. And when he does, say yes.
Oh, right.
Now, obviously, I wear a lot of shirts. If you don't believe me, go watch our past videos. It's just me and shirt after me and shirt. So trust me, when I've got a hot take on shirts, it's backed up by a ton of personal experience. So here's today's hot take. Cuts Clothing makes awesome shirts. This is actually one of them. I've got here a black crew neck tee with a curved hem. But you know what? Cuts Clothing has a ton of options that will let you find the perfect shirt for you. Like, check this out. Ooh. This is one of the Cuts clothing polos in port color. And it's like so comfy on me. I feel like James Bond. You know, when he's not wearing the tux and he's just kind of like lounging with a shirt, I got a license to lounge. All of Cuts clothing's tees are made from pica fabric, which is super soft and it doesn't pill. So you won't get those weird little, you know, fabric balls just from washing your clothes. Also, these clothes just look great. Cuts clothing doesn't do the whole splashy logo thing. It's just a simple X on the seam to let you know that your shirt's up to snuff and nothing more. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Here, you see that X? X marks the spot. Or on the T, there's that X. It's subtle. It's not forcing itself in your face. And if you're the type who likes all of your clothes to be comfy, Cuts clothing has a ton of options for you, from hoodies to pants to joggers and jackets. All of Cuts clothing's products are made with the same attention to comfort and fit, and their minimalist style makes them the perfect addition to your wardrobe, whether you're gearing up or going back to school, back to work, or you just want high quality clothes that look good wherever you go. Get 15% off today by going to cuts.team/rockstars and entering the promo code ROCKSTARS. Again, that's cuts.team/rockstars and promo code ROCKSTARS for 15% off. So when Ryan Reynolds in this video says that Logan is set in 2029 and that they're not touching Logan's death by X-24, it proves that they have thought this through and don't intend on altering that. That is still the absolute point, the end point for the character. And the MCU will probably reboot Wolverine with a new variant. She-Hulk even implied a man with metal claws already exists in the 616 universe. But Deadpool 2, with Cable's time travel watch, already opened up the multiverse for these two characters. Jackman could play himself from any point in the X-Men timeline. That scene in X-Men Origins was set in 1981, but that portion of the timeline was supposedly erased by the events of X-Men Days of Future Past, where Logan had time travels via consciousness displacement to his younger body in the year 1973. And the events of that movie reset the timeline so that in the present day, which we assume is the year 2023 based on Charles' hoverchair, Logan is now back alive with Charles and Cyclops and Jean Grey and the other X-Men in the X-Mansion. And in recent months, I've been speculating that could be the same universe as Universe 838 in Multiverse of Madness, because 838 Charles calls back a line that he said to his younger self in Days of Future Past.
Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever.
Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, it doesn't mean they're lost forever.
I don't know how much Reynolds and Levy will care about precise universe designations and precise years. Deadpool 2 also featured a cameo from the X-Men Apocalypse era of the X-Men, when that's really the age those characters were in the 1980s. Deadpool has always seemed to occupy a side meta-reality of a satiric nature. But the fact that Reynolds mentions the year 2029 in particular is telling, because that year came specifically from a 2017 James Mangold interview with comicbook.com that he really threw out there as just far enough beyond the epilogue of Days of Future Past and considered 5 years to be enough time. So 2029 is really a deep cut known by the nerds foolish enough to still try to unpack the convoluted X-Men timeline. So for Reynolds to mention it proves that he is one of us nerds. And this Deadpool 3 movie will likely address that timeline madness, maybe even lean into it, because there is a lot of shit that they need to make fun of there. Actually, back in January 2021, Reynolds said that the original plan for Deadpool 3 was a road trip between Deadpool and Logan, Rashomon style. Now, Rashomon was the classic Akira Kurosawa film that established the cinematic concept of an unreliable narrator, where we see the same event repeatedly through the eyes of a different focal character, the details of that flashback changing each time to reflect the bias of that character. So this road trip with Deadpool and Logan can now totally happen in the multiverse. Deadpool, still time displaced from the Deadpool 2 post-credit sequence, joins up with Logan shortly after the Days of Future Past ending. He teams up with this Logan because this Logan is a specific constant with memories stored in his head of different timelines. Remember, Logan's healing mutation was the reason Kitty Pryde could project his mind back in time. In the comics, it's also what makes Wolverine uniquely sober to the Scarlet Witch's resetting of reality in the House of M event. He's the only one initially who remembers that something's wrong. So this unique quality is why Deadpool has singled out Logan and needs this reality-scarred mind of his to help him navigate the multiverse to find his way home. Except that home is going to end up being in the 616 universe. I mean, think about it. These two are really the perfect duo to go on this kind of multiversal road trip, using Cable's time watch to bounce from historical point to historical point across different timelines, across different universes, from the 838 universe during its Infinity War conflict, to the 616 Infinity War, to the history of the 1940s with Captain America, which we know Wolverine was a part of, to really anything that happened in the Fox X-Men timeline, and then comment on all of it, like how weird it is that Thanos looks like the guy who supplied Deadpool with this time travel tech, and then connect all these universes, replaying these events Rashomon style through a new comedic perspective. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to finally put Hugh Jackman in a comic accurate Wolverine costume, like the costume and prop that James Mangold gold shared. Hugh Jackman unfortunately never had a comic-accurate suit of Wolverine because Bryan Singer banned comic books from the set of those films. But Hugh Jackman in 2018 revealed in an interview with Josh Horowitz that he would sneak over to Kevin Feige's office to read comic books. So for Kevin Feige, Jackman as Wolverine in the MCU, in the comic-accurate suit, is a true homecoming. A homecoming just in time to bring him back one true final time in Avengers Secret Wars. Let me know your thoughts on all this and follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching, bye.